You're walking alone on a deserted road, the only sound being the creaking of trees in the wind. Suddenly, you stumble upon a faint smell of decay, and your heart starts racing. This is the reality for the families of Britain's cold case victims, whose loved ones were brutally taken from them, leaving behind only questions and a desperate plea for justice. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a dense forest, surrounded by nothing but the eerie silence of nature. It's a place where time stands still, where the past and present collide. This is where the story of one of Britain's most infamous cold cases begins. A young woman, barely out of her teenage years, was found brutally murdered, her body left to rot in the underbrush. The investigation that followed would span decades, leaving behind a trail of clues, suspects, and unanswered questions. As you walk through the forest, the rustling of leaves beneath your feet serves as a reminder that even the most seemingly insignificant detail can hold the key to unlocking the truth. The trees loom above, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching towards the sky, as if trying to snatch the last remnants of hope from the darkness. You can't help but feel that you're being watched, that unblinking eyes are trained on you from the shadows. And then, you hear it, the faint whisper of a name, carried on the wind, a name that would become synonymous with terror and tragedy. You're a detective, tasked with re-examining the evidence, searching for that one crucial piece of information that could crack the case wide open. As you sift through the files, you come across a grainy photograph, taken at the crime scene. The image shows a figure, partially obscured by a tree, watching as the police collect evidence. The figure's face is distorted, but there's something unsettling about the way they're standing, a sense of calm calculation that sends shivers down your spine. You can't help but wonder, who is this person, and what do they know about the murder? The photograph seems to whisper secrets in your ear, taunting you with the promise of answers, just out of reach. As you study the image, you start to notice the smallest details, the way the light reflects off a nearby puddle, the faint outline of a shoe print in the mud. Each new discovery is like a thread, weaving together a complex tapestry of clues, slowly revealing the face of the killer. But with each step forward, the darkness seems to deepen, the shadows growing longer and more ominous, as if the truth itself is being pulled back into the abyss. As the investigation unfolds, you find yourself immersed in a world of forensic science, where the tiniest details can make all the difference. You're in a laboratory, surrounded by rows of sleek, silver equipment, the air thick with the smell of disinfectant and the hum of machinery. A technician carefully examines a piece of fabric, found near the crime scene, searching for any sign of DNA. The process is painstaking, requiring patience and attention to detail, as the technician painstakingly compares the fabric to known samples. You can't help but feel a sense of awe at the complexity of the human body, the way a single hair or skin cell can hold the key to unlocking the truth. The laboratory is a place of quiet intensity, where the pursuit of justice is a slow, methodical process, each new discovery building upon the last, like the threads of a rope, slowly tightening around the neck of the killer. But as the evidence mounts, the questions begin to pile up: who is the killer, and what motivated them to commit such a heinous crime? The answers seem to hover just out of reach, taunting you with their elusiveness, as the investigation delves deeper into the heart of darkness. As you delve deeper into the case, you start to notice inconsistencies in the original investigation. A key piece of evidence, once thought to be crucial, is now revealed to be a red herring, planted by the killer to throw the police off their trail. You're back in the forest, standing at the edge of a clearing, the trees looming above like sentinels. The air is heavy with the scent of decay, and you can't shake the feeling that you're being led astray, that the truth is hiding in plain sight. The twist is like a punch to the gut, leaving you breathless and disoriented, as the entire case is turned on its head. You're forced to re-examine every piece of evidence, every statement, every shred of testimony, as the killer's true identity begins to emerge from the shadows. The forest seems to grow darker, the shadows deepening, as the truth begins to unravel, thread by thread, like a rope slowly unwinding, revealing the shocking truth at its core. As the case draws to a close, you're left to ponder the aftermath, the devastating impact on the families of the victims, the community, and the investigators themselves. You're in a dimly lit room, surrounded by the personal effects of the victim, each item a poignant reminder of a life cut short. The air is heavy with grief, the shadows cast by the faint light like the darkness that has descended upon the family. You can't help but wonder what could have been done differently, what clues were missed, what opportunities were lost. The silence is oppressive, punctuated only by the soft ticking of a clock, a reminder that time is a cruel mistress, relentless in its march forward, leaving the past to gather dust and fade into memory. And yet, even in the midst of such tragedy, there's a sense of hope, a glimmer of light in the darkness, as the investigators continue to work tirelessly, driven by a fierce determination to bring justice to the victims and their families. The room seems to grow smaller, the shadows closing in, as the weight of the tragedy bears down upon you, like a physical force, crushing the air from your lungs. As you reflect on the case, you're left with more questions than answers. The investigation may be closed, but the truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. You're standing at the edge of the forest, looking out into the distance, the trees stretching out before you like a sea of shadows. The wind is blowing, rustling the leaves, and you can't help but wonder, what secrets are still hidden, what lies are still being told. The case may be cold, but the memories remain, etched into the collective psyche like a scar. You're left to ponder the what-ifs, the maybes, and the could-haves, as the darkness closes in around you, like a shroud. And then, just as you think you've reached the end, you hear a faint whisper, carried on the wind, a whisper that seems to say, the truth is still out there, waiting for you. The forest seems to grow darker, the shadows deepening, as the mystery remains, a haunting presence, lingering just out of reach, like a ghostly apparition, forever trapped in the shadows. As you've witnessed the intricate web of clues and twists, you can't help but wonder, what's the truth behind Britain's most haunting cold cases? Like, comment, and subscribe, and join the discussion as we continue to unravel the mysteries and shed light into the darkness. But be warned, the truth is often more terrifying than fiction, and once you've seen the shadows, you can't unsee them. The darkness is waiting, and it's up to you to uncover the secrets hidden in the heart of Britain's cold cases.